I feel like we're gonna have to get you some therapy at some point.
But we're going into it. Superman versus the Stripe. Stripe has honestly, Stripe has one of the best approaches into Superman. And the fact that Anthos probably hasn't played a Stripe in many, many weeks, if not months, might affect this game.
It could be very interesting. We know that this Stripe can be incredibly aggressive, a very unpredictable kit here. Anthos trying to set up their typical combination, trying to get that edge guard in, perhaps looking for that icy breath that Superman has in their utilities. But it does look like even if the projectiles are going to be frozen by Superman, they are going to lift up the field a little bit, give Anthos a lot more to think about. Anthos once again trying to secure that edge, but the chainsaw has an answer for it. Slowly but surely, Malignant is chipping away at Anthos.
The two things that Stripe definitely have are those chainsaw and the fact that they can blow themselves up to make the whole character hitbox, or sorry, hurtbox into a hitbox is huge and makes it really hard, one, to edge guard them. But two, looking at what Colossus out of the ice, but Anthos does master, if not master, a PhD level work of boxing out this gremlin.
A very, very well executed uppercut. It looks like they're trying to lure Stripe into position, but Stripe was able to use that to their own advantage, using the height that Superman was trying to gain in order to get a very cheeky elimination there. Very well done as Malignant now tries to secure the edge, but it looks like Anthos has the answer for it as well. That floating platform in the center of Cumulus is playing a little bit of interference for both of these opponents, making that center stage a little more claustrophobic than you would typically like. Once again, those saw blades being countered by the Frost Breath incredibly well, but the maneuverability of Gremlin is able to get underneath Superman a very nice amount of damage. Those explosions once again chipping away at Anthos, who is now in kill range, as is the Gremlin, and Superman is going to get the elimination. Stripe is now a point down, a very easy point to gain back if they can play it well, which it looks like they might, and they do even it up.
It doesn't feel good when a stray hit leads to the kill like that. As the Stripe, you know that you're playing well, you know you're playing out of all of Superman's hitboxes, so a stray hits. Hopefully this small lead, and this is the small lead that Superman has, the Stripe can get back. Anthos is trying to really keep out Malignant's offense out with these big hitboxes and the ice press. But if anybody can get into Superman, it is Stripe.
Stripe able to avoid the ground pound there. It looks like the explosion is going to buffer Superman a little bit, allows Stripe to get underneath them once again. And Anthos looks like they made a critical error. The first point is going to go to Stripe. Incredibly well done.
When you make an error like that, you can't DI. Actually, I'm gonna say DI. You really have to keep aware of where your opponent is consistently. I know that the Stripe took advantage of the fact that Anthos bit off a little bit more than they can chew and really leaned into the combo game that Stripe has, the kill potential that Stripe has every single time. And that was just the one time that Anthos was a little bit more brave than he should have been. Stripe gets a clean kill as we lean into deciding what stage we're going to go to. Game 2.
No, I think that is the unpredictability of Stripe littering the sky as much as they could. Threw Anthos off of their guard a little bit, and was able to litter the field just enough to take advantage of the entire situation. Very, very well done there from Malignant.
Honestly, I'm really interested in seeing how the Stripe maintains their momentum, Because it's really hard to keep your momentum up against Anthos. Because one of the things that Anthos does really well is when the chips are on the table, he goes all in. He starts looping. He starts making these really, 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 really big combos. It's really hard to play against a very defensive Anthos.
Anthos is one of those competitors where you need to have eyes in the back of your head. You need to be able to predict every single move that he's going to do. Like we were saying earlier, he has these cycles that they fall into that they're very confident with. Stripe was able to break those cycles. So I think we've seen so much of Anthos recently that people have started to adapt to their playstyle.
We are waiting for Anthos to get back into game here. I don't expect a character to change from Anthos. If he does, it'll probably be into the Wonder Woman. But honestly, I don't know what the call is right now. Are we waiting for Anthos to come back in? Because
We are.
Surprised.
We're trying to find out where he is currently. I will update elsewhere on the bracket though. Flacoco has gotten a 2-0 victory up against Clouds Cracked. So they'll be going up against Moises right now. Now that is going to be a very heated fight. That is going to be incredible. Very good luck to the both of you. Misty was able to beat Nura in a 2-0 battle and is currently 1-0 up against Skemore, who did beat Glix in a 2-0 fight. And Gorify, who we recently just saw beat Mops, is currently going up against Brian Yee, and that is currently in its first round. Going down to the lower bracket, we have Virgo, who is a point up against Hax. We have Conehead Art, who is a point up against Simply Staffer. And we also have Nura and Horn going up against one another as well. Veteran is going into the third round and waiting for their opponent. Kal-El is waiting for Clouds, and those two will be getting underway very, very soon. And Tio is currently going up against Izanagi.
I mean, I can't imagine what Anthos is thinking right now. I don't know if it's maybe he's thinking like it's a ping issue. He's like, oh, I can't believe I lost to this player, but oh, we're going into it now. I can see Anthos maybe made a new lobby. I don't know really what went on here, but we're sticking with the Superman, sticking with the stripe. As we go into game 2, Anthos trying to redeem himself into the stripe.
I think the maintaining Superman does actually to an extent benefit Stripe here. You just got to play the same as you did before, stay confident in what you know. You know the weaknesses of this character, you know to get underneath him and to juggle him, just to litter the field as best you can. We aren't going to have those fighting platforms, so there's not going to be as much claustrophobia throughout the stage. And it does look like, once again, Stripe immediately using that explosion to close the distance between Superman, get underneath that Frost Breath, which Anthos has as a bit of a signature trump card to most of his opponents. Anthos now trying to get a juggle up on Stripe, is able to even out the damage a little bit, but Stripe once again has an answer for it. A very good drop kick and an incredibly early elimination.
Let's try.
And now it looks like Stripe once again going for the chainsaw, did not execute that time. I do apologize because I need to take a sip of water. This is incredibly fast. My throat is very dry. And now almost eliminated again is Anthos, playing very close to the edge there. Stripe securing that ledge as best he can, able to get a lot of damage off considering Anthos was fresh off of the stock. Looks like they went for another risky play, is able to execute it, and now the chainsaw is going to get interrupted, and Superman is able to even up the stocks one apiece.
It's crazy that Anthos is able to find these openings over and over again. But Stripe doing a really good job of keeping the Superman off stage as they maintain their stock lead. Like I said, Stripe using the bomb, self-igniting himself, using those chainsaws to get in, making sure that Superman really can't contest any of Stripe's openings. This is by far one of Superman's hardest matchups in game 3. And honestly, MalignantAuto is doing a really good job of taking advantage of the situation as they close out game 2. Anthos is